afternoon, Kenya. My name is Diana Ndulu, and here we're watching 1 p.m. news on Top Prime Media, and here are the today's top stories. William Ruto has spoken about disappearance and return of Raphael Tuju, blaming the opposition for misleading him while speaking in Siaya and Migori counties. Ruto defended former President William Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto and should be linked to the ongoing disputes over the Tuju's property. The president urged leaders to stop dragging Uhuru's name in matter instead of the focus on the truth.
Unajua hata juzi wameenda kudanganya Tuju. Wameenda kuhangaisha Tuju. Wanaenda kumwambia Tuju enda jifiche kwa bedroom yako alafu enda sema ati umekuwa abducted. Just imagine. Tuju needs honest friends. Tuju needs honest advice. Asaidiwe. He doesn't need scavengers who are trying to scavenge about the misfortune of a citizen. Wale watu wanatafuta maarufu kwa shida ya Mkenya mwenzao. We want Tuju apatiwe advice so that he can be helped, mali yake iokolewe na yeye asonge mbele. Lakini hahitaji wale matapeli wakora wanaenda kumsumbua mtu. Mpaka hata wameenda kuleta jina ya Uhuru Kenyatta wameingiza kwa hiyo matope yao. Hawa watu ni bure ama si bure? Ni bure ama si bure? Waende ama si wasiende? Waende wakiendaka si ndio?
Kenya's national airline Kenya Airways has returned in making losses after posting a net loss of 17.2 billion shillings in 2025. This comes just a year after the airline made a profit, showing that its recovery is still weak, and the company says grounded aircrafts, high operating costs, and global disruptions affected its performance. The latest results highlighting the challenges the airline continues to face as it works to stabilize its operation.
Still AOG, waiting for the engines, the ones I spoke about in my presentation. So the engines are coming. First two engines are coming in April. So by the end of April, the first aircraft should be up and flying. And the second aircraft should be up. So we have one more engine is coming in May. Second engine is coming in June.
Markets ebb and they flow, as do enterprises. So this is just a low period, but that we will be certainly looking forward to a far more optimistic result in the coming financial years. The immediate priority is to stabilize operations, rebuild on capacity. As CEO earlier said, keep an keen eye.
Policy holders in Kenya will now receive up to 500 million shillings compensation under the new reforms aimed in improving protection in the insurance sector. The increase is expected to offer greater financial security in case of an insurance company fails. The Policyholders Compensation Fund has also expanded and now covers 18% of the industry. The government said the move will boost public confidence and encourage more Kenyans to take up insurance services.
It has continued to grow steadily from the initial seed capital of 35 billion that was put in by the National Treasury up to the current fund value, which is about 38 billion. The compensation of policyholders has been a bit slow, but I must commend the PCF for the work that they have done in the recent past. I know the demands that we've placed on them has been quite huge, but I must say that they have acted quite well and responded to the call of policyholders.
The new limit is grounded in actual evidence and aims to provide meaningful relief to affected policy holders during difficult transitions. Extensive discussions with the National Treasury informed this reform, which address social, macroeconomics, and macroeconomic factors. The increase is expected to raise the fund coverage from about 30 to 60% of average.
Residents living downstream in Nairobi Dam has given 14 days to move out due to growing safety concerns. Authorities say people living along Nairobi channels and riparian land are at risk and must leave to avoid possible danger. Nairobi Chief Officer of Environment Geoffrey Mosilia warned that those who have not moved within and to be given time to have the building demolished and their own costs. Meanwhile, some residents are calling for the government to also bring down structures and build riparian land, saying other parts of the problem causing the crisis.
Today on what riparian is and why you have to move out of riparian reserve. Next is going to be marking of the riparian reserve. Haitafanywa leo, inafanywa immediately na hiyo demarcation team itakupatia notice ya siku 14, 14 days, so that you are allowed to move your structure. At the expiry of 14 days, if you will not have moved the structures, serikali itaingia kutoa hiyo structure at your own cost.
Hizi nyumba zote zimejengwa kwa riparian, kuna watu wameapprove. What action is the government doing to hold those people to account? Hii inabomolewa, hii ingine inajengwa.
When it happened 2024, I remember we had the same floods. Our houses flooded. We wrote to you guys and nobody has ever responded. Also, it happened the same. Nobody has even responded to those letters.
Heavy floods continue to affect many parts of Kenya, leaving a trial destruction and suffering of Maembeni, Kisumu County. More than 300 families have been forced to leave their homes after flood waters swept through the areas, making people who are urgent near the shelter, food and clean water. In Baringo County, the floods have destroyed over 300 acres of crops, dealing with big blows to farmers. Meanwhile, one person lost their lives while trying to cross the Solen River Nyamidi across the country. The dead now throw from the floods and now reach 87 as the authorities warn the residents to stay safe and avoid risky areas.
Ya Maembeni, sisi iko na shida kubwa sana. Maji amefiriku paka natoka over ya dike.
Wale walitengeneza dike hakutengeneza vizuri. Wametengeneza tu kitu kama cha kucheza boli. Sio cha kufanya kitu chenye inaweza kusaidia sisi.
Wanakaa na mahindi yao ndani ya maji wakingojea trakta. Wengine wametoa iko barabara wanangojea trakta. So mimi mwenyewe binafsi nimeumia sana. Jamii yetu ya hii Eljomus tumeumia sana. Tunaomba usaidizi.
Sasa tuko na risk. Hizi manyoka sasa hii maji imesumbua. Ile magunia jana ilikuwa imefunwa. Sasa kuja ingia hiyo ndani ya hiyo magunia. Tukibeba ni Mungu tunachunga watu kwa sababu so far so good hakuna mtu aliumwa, lakini manyoka mingi zilipatikana ndani ya magunia. Sikitafuta.
The search for Brian Odhiambo, a missing fisherman, continues as questions grow over the disappearance. The Kenya Wildlife Service, KWS, has denied any involvement, even as 6 of its officers are being charged in the court over the case. KWS Director General Erastus Kanga told the Senate committee that no one has been officially reported missing inside the national park, raising more concerns and calls of a full investigation into what happened.
And refuse that there are any people that have disappeared in Lake Nakuru National Park. We have records of all the visitors who have been into Lake Nakuru National Park, and we can table those records here for the last 10 years. The illegal entry of persons into the park, if they are not using the designated gates, they are destroying and cutting the fences, the electric fence that has protected the park.
Fish are leaving Lake Nakuru even today to various destinations, refrigerated. An independent research and also be open so that we can have what is actually up to date, not what was then.
That fish is contaminated from the report we have. It's unfit for human consumption. And one of the witnesses actually said the same fish finds itself in the market of Nairobi, Kisumu, and Nakuru.
Can we open up the lake, clean the river, the fish be legal so that fishing continues?
It is illegal to fish in a national park. We are killing Kenyans. And very soon they will get into various diseases, including cancer.
Some petrol stations in Nairobi said that they have no fuels. Drivers are worried they might run out. Questions are being asked about whether the shortage is real, while some people think fuel sellers might be hiding these products. The situation is causing concerns that fuel prices and transport fares could go up. In Kajiado, communities are urged to help children take care of their teeth. Good dental health is important for children's overall well-being and school performance. Parents are encouraged to teach proper brushing habits, limit sugary foods, and support regular dental checkups to ensure the children grow up healthy.
Kula siku hizi unajua sukari nyingi sana, sio kama zamani, na sukari tunajua inachangia sana katika uharibifu wa meno. So mtoto akila hizo biskiti ama hizo peremende bila kubrush meno inakuja kumwadhiri sana, na ndio sababu tunatembea katika mashule tukifunza wanafunzi hawa wadogo kwamba ni muhimu sana waangalie meno zao, ama hiyo tunaita oral health care.
Ukiangalia katika kaunti ya Kajiado, maji yana chumvi. Unapata for the last 5 years, KenSWED has been reaching out to the community and also especially the schools. So unapata one of the main reasons why we are doing this is to ensure we reach our Kajiado County and also support the children who have the teeth issues, the discolorization and also cavities.
Saa zingine tunakuwa na cases za watoto ambao wako na cavities kwa meno, na kwa sababu ni hiyo inatokana na kwa sababu ya kutobrush, kwa sababu ya continuous stay ya food kwa meno. So unapata saa zingine kuna watoto ambao wako na shida ya a lot of pain wakati wako na toothache, and I feel hii campaign itapunguza some of those incidents.
Lakini ningeweza kuhamasisha kwa sababu ya digital ambao tunaenda nayo, hata sisi tuweze kuingia katika huyo digital, tupige mswaki mzuri na dawa ili meno yetu yaweze kukaa yakiwa health.
Advocate for children's oral health, school going children. It is very, very important because when children have peace of mind, there is no pain, then they do not have interference in their studies, they have full concentration.
Vote as voters. The plan came out in large numbers to register before the deadline, and the group urged the Independent Electrical and Boundaries Commission (IEBC) to run more campaigns to raise awareness about voter registration.
Siri ni numbers, yeah. So mkuwe kadi wote ndio we get to change the government. We need change as a country. Like we need change next year.
Tunazidi kuurge vijana everywhere across the country, mali huko jitokeze tuchukue kura because tunataka mwongozo mpya, new leadership, na tunataka maendeleo.
Waendelee kuchukua kura. They know what they're supposed to do. Us, we know personally what we are going to do. We're not going to make the same mistake again.
And took accountability for the future we actually want, voting leaders who will actually work for the people instead of against the people.
I am here to register as a voter because it has become a duty right now as the country is going in the wrong direction.
Kwa kweli nina furaha kwa sababu at least I feel like now I have my constitutional rights and finally I get to choose the leader that I want na the leader that I feel like atatupatia maendeleo katika Mombasa yetu na katika Kenya yetu kwa jumla.
Mimi nimeona nichukue kadi kwa maana hii nchi tumeteseka sana. Mimi kama mwana Kenya na kijana mdogo nimeamua ya kwamba nichukue kura yangu ili niweze kuachiri mtu kwa ofisi ama nimtoe.
Members of Parliament say Kenya's health financing system, known as SHA, is sustainable, and the National Assembly Health Committee said the money coming in is barely enough to cover the cost. Law complainers and funding gaps could threaten the future of the health system if changes are not made. I can also make a shorter... Thank you. And let's go to the sports news.
Welcome to Top Prime Media Sports News at 1. My name is Gerard Chalo. We are starting with news whereby Sports Cabinet Secretary Salim Mvurya on Tuesday announced plans to restructure the local organizing committee for AFCON 2027. The proposed changes will see several members who were involved in organizing last year's African Nations Championship CHAN dropped, with new appointments expected to bolster preparations ahead of the tournament. On to the next one. Muranga Seals FC have sealed an agreement to transfer winger Paulo Sama to Sweden Enkoping SK. The move adds to the growing list of Kenyans who have applied their trade in Sweden, among them McDonald Mariga, Jamal Mohammed, Stanley Wilson, and Irad Mushindi. Moving forward, Cabinet Secretary for Sports Salim Mvurya has confirmed that the ministry is working closely with key stakeholders, including the Parliamentary Committee on Sports and the National Treasury, and a whole of government approach to secure the Kenya shilling 3.9 billion hosting fee. I want to assure all Kenyans and our international partners, including the Confederation of African Football, that we are meeting both our financial obligations and infrastructure requirements, said Mvurya. He further emphasized that Kenya's preparation for the Africa Cup of Nations are well on track, expressing full confidence in the country's ability to deliver a world-class tournament next year. We are making solid progress on our sports infrastructure. That's why we invited Confederation of African Football. And on to the next one. Former Shabana FC coach Peter Okidi has been named the Kenyan Premier League Coach of the month for February. He won all 4 matches. Shabana coach during the month. And on to the last one. Mohamed Salah will leave as free agent in June with no transfer fee. Liverpool accepted Salah's desire to try a new chapter and not ask for money to any club in the summer, despite Mohamed Salah having a contract valid until June 2027. Gentleman agreement similar to what happened years ago with Jurgen Klopp, respecting clubs' legends. That's all for sports news here at 1 p.m. Remember to follow us at all our social media platforms at Top Prime Media. My name is Gerard Chalo. Bye-bye.
That's all for today at 1 p.m. News, and my name is Diana Ndulu. Thank you for watching Top Prime Media. Don't forget to follow us on our website and social media platforms. Stay updated, stay safe, and stay informed.